serve our fatherland. Great love and strength and faith, oh yeah. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Oh God of creation, direct our noble cause. Guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know. To build a nation where
was actually at the Pentagon. But one thing that was clear was this is something that has been long rumored for weeks now, that this was in the works, that this was going to happen, that they had not changed their minds on that feeling initially of General C.Q. Brown ever since you heard those comments from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. And just to drive home how unusual this is, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Anderson, typically stays regardless of who the president is. Even if they change parties and it's a different administration, they stay for that 4-year term. And he started his in October of 2023. He succeeded General Mark Milley in this role. And so his term does not expire until the fall of 2027. But with this ouster tonight, Trump has removed him from his post and is now picking someone else to take this position, which really does drive home what you heard from Pete Hegseth in that interview back in November, blaming him for DEI policies. That is obviously part of this. And I've been talking to people in recent weeks. None of them would.
Yeah, that is Trump, doing what he does best, replacing all the non-white people as much as possible with as much white people as possible. Say whatever you like about Trump, he doesn't hide his feelings. I think this is where I deviate from Kenny. See, I don't look at Trump and think he's doing it, whatever he's doing to help us. He's doing it for his people. And don't make that mistake. I think this is where Dr. Damage is correct to correct you. Don't think he's doing it for you. He's doing it for his people. He saw African continent as a whole. He decided that in South Africa, the white ones should come to America. You should understand these things. Has he ever invited the Igbo people to come to America? He didn't.
Forefathers, the FBI, the guy he picked for FBI chief. Where is he from again? Is he a white guy?
Oh, that one is a white supremacist Indian. Now, what did you expect from Indians?
Okay. Do we have white supremacist African?
White supremacist Africa? Yeah, we do have them. You don't know that? They
Okay.
go to South
Okay,
Africa,
good.
like Elon Musk.
Okay.
And all.
No. White supremacist African. Elon Musk is not African.
Oh,
Forget that.
no. They don't forgive you for that. See,
Elon Musk is African.
the thing about Trump is that, yes, I hear what you are saying about the FBI guy. He does employ loyalists, but you notice that the loyalists don't tend to drift into black people.
No, Trump is about.
you notice that the loyalty doesn't tend to drift into black people. It tends to drift into people that actually have white supremacist instincts. Like if you look at that this FBI guy. Yes.
There's this guy that headed the Federal Airport Authority, whatever. It was a black guy, right? It was a black guy under Biden. He was interviewed, and during the course of that interview, he was asked, "Have you ever been to aviation school?" He said, "No." Have you ever kind of fly an aircraft? He said, "No." So you have no business with aviation? He said, "Yes." So why are you heading the Federal Airport Authority?
But when he resigned, you have had about 10 cases of accidents in the US.
Let's him hear out.
Yeah, there's something you need to understand here. Just because a white guy is the manager, so the deputy manager or the assistant manager must be black, whether he's competent or not. This is what we don't want in the country. What we are calling for is competency, regardless of your skin color. See, whatever you think, whatever you say, you see, Kene, I don't see your color. I don't know if you're black or white or green. Bring competency. What can you offer? That is what Trump is saying. It is not about DEI. Yeah. You have a bunch of incompetent fools heading offices in this country.
Let me give you reasons.
Just because of their skin color, just because of their sexual,
No, let's go in order. Let's try to go in order now, so that the people that come earliest.
Let me round up. Let me round up with 5 minutes, 5 seconds, please. We have a bunch of incompetent people, both black and white, heading offices just because of their color, just because of their sexual affiliation. This is not how we move the country forward. We want competency. That's what we are asking for. How is that a bad thing? If you know you are capable of doing this thing, apply for it, go for an interview, get it. Stop complaining. He's not doing it for me, he's not doing it for me. That black guy that has been there, what has he offered you? What has he offered you? What impact has he made in your life since he has been there?
Thank you. I hear what you're saying.
I'm not seeing color.
Stay humble. Stay humble. Are you there? You're looking down. Stay humble. So what do you think about Trump? Trump is doing what he did the first time. He's cleansing the stable of
Can you hear me?
people as much as possible. Yes. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think
your audio is playing up. You have a long delay. So you may need to go out and come back in again. This is not something you can fix.
Yes, unfortunately I missed the first part of this.
That is too delayed.
Show, really. But I want to start by greeting everyone. The popular faces are still around. Greetings to everyone. I'm really glad to join today. I don't know what has been discussed earlier for Trump, because charity begins at doesn't it?
Your audio is playing up heavily. You need to turn you have something on your other side. You need to turn the speaker off, and turn the speaker off. Go out and come back in again. I think that will solve half of the delay problem. Yeah, all right, let me mute you in the meantime. There's a technical issue on that end. I'm echoing from somewhere else too, so let me see. I'm echoing from. Has somebody got their audio mic open? Of course.
Yeah, man of prestige and Avia say she turn off.
Of course, he's man of prestige. What did you expect? He has to be man of prestige now. What else do you expect from? Welcome, Kando. What do you make of these Trump moves, because I get a feeling that he's doing what he did in the first time, where he appointed 50-something lifetime appeal court judges, relatively young people, and I think there was only one black person among them. You know, this is not DEI. This is opposite DEI that he's doing. So what do you make of it, Kando?
I think everyone on this planet knows where I stand with Trump. There's nothing new. I've known this guy since 1985. There's no abracadabra that you can pull on people like me. This clown show is not going to end well. I don't ever support Black, Yoruba, Igbo. I don't care where you come from.
Sorry, Kendu. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Brim, I'm back because of you again. I'm sorry. I'm going to stay backstage. Uncle Ike, I'm the one that have you backstage. I'll bring you back on, sir. I'm sorry for interrupting your segment. Brim, I'll take you backstage. Let's chat backstage. Yes. Then I'll bring you back on. All right. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Thank you. Yeah, anything for the fairer sex. Yeah, they say. All right. Go ahead, please.
Everyone that has ever heard me speak, they know exactly where I stand. I don't deal with liars. I don't care how much money or power or influence they have. It doesn't concern me. I don't care if Trump can make everyone in America a trillionaire. It's not my business. The people that raised me, that raised us, what's the name of that Nigerian guy that was arrested in the Middle East? The one that was always flashing money all over the place.
Hush puppy.
Oh yeah. If my parents have an idea of how much money I make. If send a $200,000 car to my father in Nigeria, he will take petrol, pour it on top of it, burn it, and send me the video. That's the type of people that I deal with. That's the type of people that I come from. I don't care how much money you have. If you don't have character, you're useless to me. You know, I said the other day here that Trump, as far as I'm concerned, people like Trump, people like Tinubu, and the likes of them, you know, I don't deal with people like that. I won't even listen to anything they have to say because they're useless. Totally incompetent, inept, somebody that will lie when the truth will do. If Trump says good morning to you, you better go and look outside. You know, somebody said something earlier, not too long ago, maybe about an hour ago. They said Trump said something about Chelsea or about whoever. The same guy who before the election said Asians or whoever, they were eating dogs in Texas. That same guy.
Is it not possible that they are eating dogs?
Oh, come on, man! Don't the forefathers.
It was very sure.
You are wrong. You say that they are eating cats in Ohio.
You're a cat. You're a cat.
Let me help you.
This same guy.
If you want to carry propaganda, let it be correct.
The same guy who said that.
Hold on. Ekene forefather. You need to be careful how you're.
The same guy who said it was Ukrainian president is the one that started the war. That same guy who conducts election during a war? Where is that ever done? You see, you have to be. I mean, I've said this. If that man was my father, I would have disowned him when I became of age. And it's not because it's him. If someone like Tinubu was my father, I would have disowned him a long time ago. Because if you don't have value, if you don't have character, you are useless. No matter how many degrees you have, no matter how much money you have, you can have 3 chateaus in France, have 3 mansions in Belgium, and have a house in every state in America. You are useless. So I don't listen to this. this clown show, it will be worse than the first time. All of us are going to be here. The good thing for somebody like me is I don't care what he does. None of anything that he does affects my life. My life goes on.
Prophet can do.
Whatever he
So,
does,
Mr. Kandu,
my
I'm
life
sorry
goes
to
on.
interrupt you again. Brim, unmute yourself. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that your message.
You're seeing it, right?
Yeah, I just responded.
Okay, so I'm going to stay on so that you can screenshot it, and that way I know you have everything.
Got it.
Sorry, Mr. Kandu, for interrupting you. I'm very
Oh,
sorry.
no
sir.
problem. So now, Mr. Sir Forefathers, if your question is about what this guy is doing, you see, too many people are short-sighted. You know, it's one thing to say, you know, there are areas in any government, especially the American government, where you can cut out the fat. You would not believe how many tens of billions of dollars are wasted in senators' district just to keep jobs there, jobs that should not be there. But if you take them away, there will be untold number of people that won't have a job. So they keep them there. That's just the way it works. And as far as I'm concerned, this is the best thing. This is the best boss going. Until you can find me a better one.
Let me ask though, because I think Kenny made similar point that he's trying to cut waste and all. But I remember, and Kenny even made an argument regarding DEI, saying something about qualification. I remember he didn't do all those checks when he was giving Jared Kushner all kinds of position to hold without any qualification. Ivanka and all the people he was giving. There are so many people that even in this government that don't have the relevant experience, but they have been appointed in positions too. So, like I said, is there a reverse psychology going on here? He's accusing people of doing something that he's doing himself.
Political appointment is different from
We'll get to you.
federal government job.
Hold on. We'll get to you. I'm still speaking. I'm still speaking. You see, this is not even a Democrat Republican issue. This is a man with a bandana. He's like a small boy. He's a grown small boy. You see, somebody took his toy the last time. So now he has to come and retaliate. Everything he's doing, this is what if you look through his life from New York, from the buildings, from the money that he got from his father that he lied about. This is what this guy does. He's like a small boy. People like this, you don't listen to them.
But Kandu, he dodged the bullet. Don't you think that makes him grow up a little bit? You know, a bullet grazed his ear, and people see him now as somebody that they have to be on his side, because this guy seems to be favored by Providence, for want of a better word.
If you're doing that in your private life, that's a different story. This is not just America. This is about the entire world. This is a country, to a large extent, that directs in so many ways what goes on elsewhere. Does he have good ideas about trade and how, trade should be conducted between America and China? Yes. A lot of people have had those ideas. Does he have good ideas about asking the European countries to be spending a higher percentage of their GDP? Yes. And a number of American presidents have gone over and spoken to those people and gotten them to increase it. Yes. Are people afraid of him? Me, I'm not afraid of him. People like this, you ignore them. You see, it is when you listen to them, that's when they grow wings. When you ignore them, I know it's hard to do because he's the president of America. That's why he opens his mouth and people move. I don't care what the man has to say. It's irrelevant in my book.
Okay, thank you. I think who is next? Is it Jonaba or Madam Bibere? Clearly, I'm going to do my best to avoid man of prestige. So give him time to calm down. He has to calm down for, for where he is right now. We'll keep part of prestige as far away as possible. So, madam, what do you make of this Trump business? Because one thing I see him doing that people that support him don't pick up on, because some of them go as far as saying what he's doing is helping us. He's helping us in a sense that he's helping our people open our eyes, not because he's doing it for us. Because you look at their focus on immigration, it's on the South and foreigners. I don't see him deporting a lot of Europeans. Do you see him focusing on the Canadian border? He even goes to Africa that is mostly poor black people. And he went to South Africa and said, you know what, all these white people there, you can come over to America. When he's busy deporting, going to deport millions of people from the other direction. So you can see that there is a direction to this. So what do you make of that?
Okay, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. So for me, when it comes to the issue of Trump, I'll say that when it comes to the issue of Zelensky, Russia, Trump, Ukraine, and the rest of the European countries, for me, as an African, I would say I'm all here for the West to eat themselves for what they did, for all the atrocities they commit. I seriously hold them against that. But as someone that lives in the United States, I would say that Trump is a disaster. In every level, is a disaster. His view, when it comes to even seeing him in the position of leadership, I don't think he should be a leader of a country. Trump wants to play president on TV, which is cool, but people's lives and livelihood are involved here. So he can play, he likes the camera. He knows how to deal with the camera. He's good at that. We should give him that. He's a brand. But when it comes to leadership role, I don't think Trump should be near power. Okay, and I will say this, for this past election that happened, I will say that Trump ran so that because he knew he was going to go to jail. And we see that the tech bro, they helped him get in power. And if you understand the tech bro ideology, I want people to take time. For me, this is not about Democrat or Republican. The only thing that why I will lean to a Democrat would be because when you are fighting, you want someone that align with something that the cause that you're fighting toward. And here is my point. We have Black Americans here. We have African Americans here that have made so much progress when it comes to civil rights. Take it or leave it. If not for the civil rights that they have fought for and laid down their lives for, we will not be here in this country. We will not have this opportunity. And I always tell my friends, I deserve to be here because they ruined my country. So I don't care if you tell me to go back to Africa. No, I'm going to be here. So I would say, if you see Trump winning this election was all about the tech bro, what the tech bro did, because they were behind him. Because you have people like Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, David Sachs, and you have people like, some people should Google someone like Curtis Yarvin, his ideology.
Yeah, but is it not also because he bullet grazed his ears?
Hold on, I'm not talking
Kamala
about
Harris.
Can you list Democrat donors?
I am not on
those that supported Kamala Harris. Can you also list them? Can you call them?
Excuse me, Kenny. Please, I don't like
Yet they failed.
I do not have
hold on.
interrupting me. Don't. Yeah. Please don't interrupt me, because John, I will appreciate that. Please just respect me. I will say that people should Google people like Curtis Yarvin for you to understand their ideology. You will understand what is going on. This is not about Democrat or Republican now. And I would say, why would people like Elon Musk, someone like Elon Musk, spend close to $300 million to get Donald Trump elected if they are not looking for something? They want it totally different. They don't want democracy. Peter Thiel's ideology is not democracy and freedom. He said it don't work together. That's their ideology. They don't want democracy. They want the West to be ruled like the CEOs. That's the ideology. So I always tell people that we have 4 types of Trump supporters. You have the stupid ones, you have the ignorant ones, you have the dishonest ones, and you have the inherently evil ones. The stupid ones.
That's how we have stupid Democrats everywhere.
Hold on now. Don't worry.
I am not on the level, Kenny. I am not on the same level with with you.
Yeah, you know their level. I'm not your level, man. Go find your
Let's
level.
leave it. Let's leave it.
I am not. I deal with.
Yeah,
I'm not your level, man.
Hold on. See. You are saying the oligarchs and the big people are with him. However, though, Kamala Harris had $2 billion. She was incumbent, and she lost woefully to a convict. Hold on, let me finish the question.
No.
A prosecutor lost an election to a convict. A prosecutor that had $2 billion at her disposal lost an election to somebody that had less.
For being a DA, corrupt DA.
Don't you think that there's something she missed that she didn't see?
No, she didn't miss anything. Hold on, let me tell you about the election. If you want to talk about the election.
How much is her salary? How did she make the money?
Oh, please.
Oh, okay, come on now. You had your say now. She didn't interrupt you. If you interrupt her again, I will put you backstage. Just let her finish as this is submission.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're just a gullible person. But I'll say this.
You're dumb.
It's okay. He's backstage now.
You have, if you're going to talk about the election, she didn't lose woefully. How many voted? How many percentage? Trump won out at 1.6%, which is like the closest margin ever. 2 million votes. 2 million vote difference between them. Which Biden won Trump with 8 million votes.
I'm not sure.
You can go there. The election between, let me tell you what played into this election. In this election, like I said, you have 4 types of Trump supporters. You have the stupid ones. They do not understand policy.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Forefather, she's right. Google it. You're a Google man.
Hi. Who is giving man of prestige energy now? Man of prestige, I thought you were mourning still. Calm down. Let Mrs. finish. Go ahead.
So I'm saying that Trump won her by 2 million votes. And what played in this election? Don't forget, she's Black South Asian woman. America is not ready. If you study this election, they're not ready for women president. People said it themselves. The people that voted for Trump. It's not about she didn't miss anything. Trump didn't do anything for this election. He didn't do the campaign that he did. It was just no policy. It wasn't running on policy. Trump was running on popularity. Trump is a cameraman. He will beat you hands down in front of camera.
But the mistake you are making is, why is it that I can see so many areas why the Democrats lost, but you can't see it?
I am telling you, because you can, let me tell you, because I have listened to analysis. I'm talking about, that's why I said, for the West, for what I know, my personal perspective would be, let everything go crumble. Yes, I don't want to be, but I'm saying that. But if I look into me as person living in America, I'm speaking as somebody living in America now. So if you look at the tech bros, because of their ideology of they do not want democracy, they do not want regulations. They want a lot of regulations to be cut down because it's holding them down. If you understand these people's ideology, you will understand what is going on. This is a different era. This is not Democrat, Republican. Trump has dined with the devil. And the devil is here to stay. I understand. Russia has said it. Was it in 1950s that they said they would bring down America without firing one shot? You see people like Tim Pool, Joe Rogan. They run on all this propaganda. Propaganda machine worked. And like I said, Trump is very good at this. You cannot beat him to this when it comes to talking, when it comes to bullying and all that.
But Biden beat him.
That is what I'm saying. This is a different era. Biden beat because Biden was a white man. Only because he ran against Hillary. He lost. Hillary lost. He ran against Biden because Biden is a white man. Biden won. He runs against a black Asian, South Asian woman, the woman lost. So you will know that first, like I said, America, we have 4 types of Trump supporters. The stupid ones, they do not read policy. They just go with the flow. They don't know what is going on. And you'll be shocked because statistics says that 52% of Americans read at or below 6th grade level.
Okay, I take your argument
what I'm saying.
the Democrats listen. Okay, round up so that
the Democrat or Republican for me. I am not talking about the Democrat or Republican. I am just going on based on what I know and what is happening. And I say that the second people are the ignorant people. They read, but they don't have the ability to decipher information. They go with propaganda. They read, but they go with propaganda. Say whatever. They are living in propaganda. And the tech bro are doing the work. They're good. That is their area. They're doing the work for Trump. And you will have the dishonest people like people like Elon Musk, that they know a lot of billionaires and rich people in America. They know what's up. They know what Trump is doing. They understand the whole thing, but they are selfish. They are greedy. We all know billionaires are greedy. They want the tax cuts. They don't want regulations. And you have the inherently evil ones, the racists. Anything that will benefit people that do not look like them, they will vote against it, even if against their best interests. Because as we can see, look at all the town halls that they are holding. People voted for this. This man was telling you what he was going to do. But they were like, I watched an interview on the mainstream media and that says the woman said, oh, he was talking about all this. I thought it wasn't going to happen to me. Oh, so it was going to happen to other people. But you voted for it. A teacher voted for school, Department of Education to be scrapped. And now you say, no, you can't scrap Department of Education. Our children need it. No, this man said they were going to scrap Department of Education. And people that have disability, children that are disabled, people on disability, children or students on disability are going to be seriously affected.
So you think that the reason why they voted for Trump is because they were ignorant?
And I told you that 4 categories of people. Why
those group of people. Yeah.
Yes. Why they voted the way they voted. Some people know, they understand, they are just greedy because they are corporations. Some people know, they understand, they are racist. They don't want things to happen to other people. Some people, they don't have information. They lack knowledge. And some people, they read, but they don't have the ability to decipher which information is true or not. People go with whatever they see online. So that's just what I'm going to say on that. You can take it to other people.
Thank you. I've been saying this even from the Trump first term, and America is facing a demographic shift that somehow Democrats are pretending as if it's not happening.
Replacement theory.
Yeah, Democrats are not about the replacement theory. I'm just talking about common. That's normal from what you're observing happening every day from census. There is a demographic shift happening, and I've never seen it in history. I've been looking at this for more than 5 years. I've never seen it in history where a population was replaced by another peacefully. And the Democrats are not doing anything to address it. America is going to experience a period of upheaval. We like it or not, it could even lead to a civil war. Where the direction is going, if they are not, and this is one of the reasons why I think Democrats lost, because they don't understand. For some reason, they don't seem to get into the head of the Oyibo people there. The Oyibo people, they are sitting in their country, watching their country becoming Hispanics and foreign Indian, Chinese. They are losing their country. You think they want to sit there and watch it happen? They are not going to sit there. There's some things that are worth more than economy. There are some things that are worth more than healthcare. Survival of your people and your culture is worth more than that. That is why they are willing to elect a convict, a woman molester, and name it. Really, Trump has done it all over a prosecutor. It's not only about race. They managed to elect Obama. It's not only about race.
Do you know why they elected Obama? Sorry to cut you short, forefathers. They elected Obama because they were so desperate because George Bush messed up the economy. They were so desperate. And this is the backlash of Obama. Let me tell you something. Whenever Black people make progress in America, you have to study the history of America. There's always a white backlash. They will go all out. They will go all out to that a black. They said it, and Carter said it, that they don't care about the price of egg, because during the election they said, "Oh, it was the price of egg, inflation, and all that." They said, now they're saying we don't care about the price of egg. We don't just want a black woman in the White House. For Americans, it's all about race. Policies, everything is based on race for them. So you cannot take out the issue of race or the elected Obama. It was so the election it was so messed up. They will take chances. Now people are calling for Trump to take another term, the third term that is against the Constitution. So for me, let everything come. But only when it's dark enough you see the stars. So let them.
Could you please leave that highlight up for a while, if you don't mind?
Look at that! Look at that! Why would you love it? You love it. You see, Alexander Gomez, how dare you say such a thing about my good person? See, point is that yes, I'm opinionated. That is true, and it's not always a bad thing. You want to have people that talk to people that have incisive questions and also have opinions, so that it could meet halfway, and you never know what people live with. That's how I look at it. And this is have your say, but there's an element of truth and factual conversation that we also need to have, because when we live here, we want to have better information. John Abba, I think John Abba is next. Have you spoken, John Abba? I don't know. I've not.
Because I try to not to cause trouble again, so you don't know when I talk.
Usually, okay, yeah, you've not spoken since you came in, so only I should just welcome you. So what do you make of this Trump firing? Because he's going after black people, and I know he's going to do that. I don't miss when people are going after black people. I do know the difference. He's going after black people from that office. He's going after Hispanics. You know how the deportation that is going on. I don't see any aircraft coming to Europe at all. If anything, he's getting aircraft to charter white people coming to America from South Africa. And I don't know why people are not calling him out on that. That the pattern of his behavior seems to be based on race. And Democrats, I will hold them accountable for this. And people that support Democrats, they need to watch out, because why is it that they don't see this? They should know these things are coming, but they pretend as if they don't see it.
Forefathers, there are 600,000 white immigrants in America. None of them has been deported. None.
Why would they deport them?
And what he has done, is to do an executive order inviting white South Africans to come over to America.
Yeah, that's what you should expect. He's for white people. He's made that clear from the beginning. I don't know why. And Elon Musk is also like that. Many of these rich people, top rich people, if you look at even the Indians, they come from an Indian continent, a country that discriminates against the darker people. You can't even make it up. So, Jonathan, I don't know what you make of this. I really hope people that support Trump also understand this, and people that support Democrats understand the danger. Both of them put danger to us. Let's make no mistake. But Trump opens our eyes to the truth more than Democrats. That's my own personal opinion. You know, Alexander Gomez, I hope you are hearing it. So let's go ahead, Jonaba. What do you make of this?
Thank you for having me again. Trump is not a surprise to anybody. I don't worry so much about Trump. Trump is speaking for his people. But the concern is that when somebody is acting out of fear and short-sightedness, American democracy, whatever they call it, or what has placed them, is over 200 plus years. And this recklessness of his may destroy it, because the moment you get caught off in this mess, he understands that the world are not waiting. China is not waiting. Russia is not waiting. Every other world powers are not waiting. In fact, the Europeans are trying to wake up now to galvanize themselves and come to a conclusion that they may not get the help that they need, always needed from America, which is a waking call for everybody, including our people back home and here. There is nothing that is surprising. We campaign on it. People hear him. Um, uh, and Jelama said that if a person tell you who they are, believe them. So you'll be ignorant and naive of somebody that campaign, show who he is from the very beginning, and somehow you're going to find an excuse for him to say he means something else. So it's about making the world more whiter again. This is not only happening here, it's happening in Europe as well. It's the black people that need to wake up. And sometimes I turn the mirror on myself, just like my father told me when I was growing as a young man. Say, don't look at your shoulder and say, why nobody, why somebody else, and why not you too? He says the measure of a man. And I look at myself as well, and any other one, like all of us here, that how do we move from here to get ourselves the respect that we deserve? Everything these people are bragging on in this life is from us. Nothing that is not from us. But here we are playing petty politics, and our men and women are just lavishing. People are looking at a Babangida book. People go there looking at Babangida. Babangida on wheelchair, for God's sake. Who are working for Babangida? Is it not his dog and his loyalist? Well, we have a bigger problem. Our race is on attack on earth. Uh, there is institution here where they recruit intelligent place, where they recruit black and white. They go to the black dominant high school university to recruit them. He ordered them not to recruit from them anymore. So this is a person that you want to play politics, and where he defined himself as a racist that on call, and he want to define. But I'm not a fan of Joe Biden or not. I think Joe Biden is a party that make him have a different view. These white people, if they shake you, they'll go and rub their hand on their pant. If they shake you, they'll go rub their hand on that. So is that the people? I don't play those games. So they call me racist. I'm not a racist. I'm just a person that love myself, and I love all my men, brothers and sisters. And I don't want us to fall into this fighting ourselves on, so this person he mean well, he don't mean well. Did I need to wear glasses like forefathers to see? I don't wear glasses like forefather. Even though it's a designing one, I don't think you have ear defect, eye defect, but I think you do. But don't worry. So a Trump is
Thank you.
Trump, and I don't want to. All I care about is us. It's us, the black people. What do we go? These people are telling us this is who we are, and they are on mission, and we are here fighting ourselves on a petty thing. What do we do to make sure that if anything happened tomorrow, we have to say, even if we have to go back, the Bible say that if you want to borrow the Bible, I don't want to be religious here. It said that they returned with gold and silver. Even in fact, they were commanded to take it. Are you going to be asked to go with gold and silver if you are to return? That is what I'm trying to say. If you are to return, will you return with gold and silver? Or you're going to return empty? Because if you think this is a small thing, then I don't want to say something, then you are short-sighted. There is bigger plan in these people that are so radical, and they have no apology. It's you and I that have to sit back. And we all have done so much in this economy. As I'm talking to you, they are taking my dollar when I'm at work. So it is what it is. Good to see you, brother. We're speaking for now. We join the women section when you are on. And love
Thank
to
you.
everybody. Thank you, man.
Thank you. And I hear what Miss Madam Bibire was talking about in terms of the oligarchs, what they are doing. Just here in the UK yesterday, the Apple company decided to remove the security to allow the UK government to access the data of citizens, of the people. This is something that 10 years ago would be unthinkable. Now they have FBI offices. You know all these Nigerians that keep gossiping about their family members on the WhatsApp. I'm telling you, the American government knows about our internal family affairs more than we know about ourselves, because we post everything on their apps. All our secrets is all there. And our leaders don't tell us, okay, don't do this. The Indians don't do it. The Chinese don't do it. The Russians don't do it. Where is it that only black people do these things? We just surrender all our soul to them. they can use AI to analyze us and know who to target. Forget it. But maybe it's true that the oligarchs are going to come to rule. And I've heard from somebody that came on this thing on the discussion. He said he was with white supremacists, that they are literally talking about the global dictatorship. That's what they are looking at right now, because they don't want to share power anymore. So they are looking at a global dictatorship. The one I witnessed before was when they are talking about splitting the country up, America up. Instead of them to become minorities, they are willing to break that country up. Make no mistake, they are not going to go lying down. So I don't blame them.
Sorry, forefathers. Sorry to just.
Forefathers, can some other people have their time? And I was addressed here. Can I respond?
No, you've already had your say now.
No, I haven't.
Ike and Tony haven't said anything.
I haven't. Forefathers, I haven't. Unless if you don't want me to be here, I can go.
Hold on, I didn't know you wanted to say something at time. You know you are free to say something anytime.
Listen, forefather, please, can you moderate, please? And thank you.
You can moderate fairly. Right?
Hold on, calm down. Calm down. We have to bring Oga Tony in. I think he's a man of prestige. He needs to have his say next. Then Oga Tony. Then Kene. Who is that? Is Dexter? Yeah, Dexter. You're at the bottom.
Can I go ahead?
That's discrimination against me, but it's fine. I take it.
You are at the bottom. Yeah, but Dexter will go before Jide.
I'm not supposed to be at the bottom, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, you go before Jide. I know Jide came last. So man of prestige, welcome.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Of course.
Thank you, everybody. There's nothing emotional about what I'm going to say. I'm going to take off my political hat, and be very direct, be non-partisan in what I'm going to say. And I'm going to tell you exactly, what's actually happening, in America. People here coming here having different narrative about what's going on, whatever Trump is doing for Africa, better for Africa or not. Trump is a transactional president. It's all about him. So let's call it what it is. So let me begin with this DEI that is causing a lot of commotion. What is the purpose of DEI? Every one of us here, black in the United States, we benefited from this DEI. And what is the purpose of DEI? It's the diversity, equity, inclusion, an organization forward that seems to promote fair on treatment and full participation of all people, disenfranchised people who are underrepresented. It's just like when I come to a workplace, like right now, there's a lot of white people, maybe about 10 of them occupy the place. Let's assume everything is equal and qualified, and they are qualified too. We have the same interview, we have the same, we have the same pedigree and everything. But they don't want the whole office to be occupied by a particular race. They have to at least bring one of the people that is qualified. They're not promoting people or putting people in that position because they're not qualified, like Kenneth said. No, it's when everything is equal. But don't let one particular group dominate the whole thing. That is the purpose of DEI. People tend to
No, man of prestige, you're kind of confusing me. What are you saying? That people should be hired based on merits because of your skin color and now your qualification? I'm confused. What are you talking about?
No. What I'm saying, the DEI is based on merit, but to a certain extent for disenfranchised people who are underrepresented, and in an institution. For example, I gave an example. Let's assume there are 10 people in the office, right? They want, let's assume there's 9 people already in the office. They want to make it 10. Out of that 10 position, every one of them is occupied by white people. Then you have people to come here and interview, maybe 3 or 4 people to take that one position. But you have to make that place equitable for every race. You can't just let it be for one race. What I'm saying, when everything is equal, education-wise and everything, you have to put another race in there to balance everything. It's not like some black or some brown people, they are not qualified, you just bring them in. That's not what it is. It's to promote equity among the whole group. We know that white people dominate everything in this country. They occupy the whole position. If you go to a job place, they're going to hire their brothers, their own sisters, and everything. Then the other person that is qualified is not going to have a room to get in there. This is what that was for. It's not anything to disenfranchise somebody who's already qualified. People tend to misunderstood where we are coming from. You know, and you come.
I think most people actually will
like
be
it's
fine with
something evil. No,
DEI.
it's not something evil. You know,
Man
I
of
think
President, I think most people will be fine with DEI. If it was only DEI, Trump will not get elected. But
what?
can I ask you a question? Why do you think Trump wants to take Canada? Now I'm beginning to understand why. But I'm asking you, why do you think he wanted to? He kept murmuring about taking Canada.
Father, what are you talking about? First, you
You know,
said
What
we're
Trump
gonna
was
I'm
thinking
talking
split the
of
about.
taking Canada
country.
now.
Now you're talking about want to take Canada. Where are you getting
Let
this
me.
Am I the
information
one
from?
making it up? Go and ask Trump now. He's the one that is saying it now.
I don't know what
Why are
you're
you
talking about.
Where
bringing
are
me to
you
Let me
this?
finish
getting
my
this
assumption.
information from?
So
Please
Trump,
share
I thought
us
Trump
with.
said that. Okay,
Say,
let
please
me
tell us
confirm.
where. Tell us where, because people are listening to us. First, you said
Okay,
the country wants to split up. Now you're saying you heard him say he wants to take Canada. Where are you getting your sources from?
okay, let me. I thought he said that, or
Trump,
maybe I'm mistaken.
Trump,
I want to
Trump,
confirm it.
Trump did say that he wants to annex Canada. He's there.
Uh,
Google it. You'll see it.
you make it look like I just made it up. How you are in
Uncle
America? You
Kenzie, are
didn't
you
know.
hearing that?
Look at
Uncle
this one.
Kenzie, if you're in the
Before you know it, they
background,
will
please
annex
let
come
me
Nigeria.
let,
inside,
You will be there. You
please.
won't even have a clue.
let me continue.
Is it my
Want me to
turn here?
continue?
No, not yet. Let the man of president finish. Yeah, yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you. There has been a narrative that was raised here. People were saying, why did they elect Trump? And I'm gonna give you the 5 bulletin points that made them elect Trump. One of them is media distortion. A lot of Americans believe that media is a fake news. So they don't believe anything the media said. It has to be anything that Trump said. They think Trump is the right man. The second reason why people elected Trump, it's a bread on their table, money in the bank. We know what happened after the COVID, all over the world. Nigeria is a typical example of what's going on. Things has changed. There's austerity everywhere, inflation. So people were saying that Biden didn't do well because of the inflation. So they have to go back to what they had during the Trump era. But it doesn't work like that. I mean, we're living in a different world right now after the COVID. I mean, inflation has ravaged every country. The second thing is abortion. The abortion, people here want, a lot of people want their own right. They feel like Democrats, are into this abortion stuff or something like that. So that's one of the reasons. And another one is the border invasion. You know, that's one of the
Yeah.
reasons, people, want to run over to Trump. And there's another reason, it's a proven record. Because of when Trump was in position before the COVID, he has a very good economy. But he inherited Obama economy. So, people were thinking that they're gonna, they're gonna go back to that kind of economy. But it's not gonna happen. They're forgetting about what really transpired. There's a COVID, that really makes up the whole world. But whatever is happening right now, is terrible. And let me tell you what is going on. The three chief of staff, the Navy, the military, and everything, Trump has fired all of them yesterday. He has fired all of them yesterday. And
Yeah.
the Police Accountability Act that he established, what is the Police Accountability Act? It's accountability that if a police is convicted of something in one state, he can't go to another state to work. Yesterday, Trump, disbanded that police accountability, institution. So policemen committed, can kill somebody or kill a black man in somewhere in California. He can go to Florida or somewhere or Texas and work. So that doesn't work anymore. Trump is just truncating the whole thing right now. But I mean, this era where we have, is just the beginning of this. People gonna come and see whether they really voted for Trump, whether it's, whether they have buyer remorse or buyer affirmation. We're gonna see what happened. But it's heading that way. If you look at what's happening in Florida right now, there's about 6,000 people from here that came here. 300 of them live in Florida. Now they're having a buyer remorse. They're having a meeting all over. They say, the defeat was, we voted for him. Now he's deporting every one of us. This is exactly what happened. Look at the Trump. Look at what's going on. Like I stated earlier, about the stock market is falling apart. The economy. Trump is busy, revenging and everything. Forget about the economy that he promised the world that the price is going to go down. Look at the price of everything now. H&M, this question is to you. Are you buying bread cheaper today than you buy it under Obama? Under Biden. Tell me.
I don't buy bread. I bake my bread.
It's an example.
I bake bread. I don't buy bread. I bake what I eat in my house.
Are you buying?
I don't buy
You
it.
say you buy $25. You buying your olive oil or whatever you call
Oh, matter of fact, I've learned to import healthy food from Nigeria. Can I
That's
help you with that?
my question. Are you buying things cheaper today than you bought it
Yeah, I
last?
buy cheaper now because after the cost of importation and everything is cheaper for me to buy from Nigeria.
Come on, now you look at the way I
Okay.
love
Now,
Even buy
let's move to the next person.
even
Let's
buy
move
the
to the
gas
next
that he
person.
puts in his tank
Yeah.
from abroad.
Let's move to the
Yes,
next person.
I buy gas $2.60.
Kene, don't do that now. You're being quite disruptive.
No, he
Let's not do
asked me a
that.
question. He
Yeah,
asked me a question.
it doesn't mean you answer. He's not the moderator, and people
Okay,
should not be asking cross questions.
my bad.
You're welcome. Thank you for that. Yeah, man of president, I take your point. This is one of your most level-headed. This thing. You see, he's coming around now. He's coming around to the other side.
No,
You are welcome.
no, everything is coming around, and I'm going to tell you what's going on.
You're
What's
coming
going
around.
on. Did you know
Yeah.
did you know there's a protest all over the country, all over the state? There's a protest right now, but it's mainly the Hispanics and a little bit of white people that are protesting. Black people say they're not going to join them because you all voted for him. Go and look at the protest going on all over the country. It's mainly Spanish. They're having a buyer remorse right now. I think this is the most. He had the most Spanish vote he ever had. But right now they're having a buyer remorse. He's deporting all of them. The economy is going down the hill and everything. They are begging black people to come and join them, but they refuse. They say they're not going to join them. We told you so, particularly the black women. You have black women. I think about 90% of black women voted, voted for Kamala Harris.
Can I ask
they
you
want them to come and join them. They said no, they're not going to join them. You go ahead.
Yeah.
For him.
Black women, for some reason they don't see the Democrats for what they are, because they think the Democrats are helping the black women, which is a very, very interesting dynamics. Because when you hear them talk, they don't say black community, they say black women. Pardon?
I think it's better to go with the devil, I'm not saying Democrat has
no. Actually, the Trump is the devil, I know.
Republican are not better.
But don't you see that Trump is the devil, Hold on. Man of prestige, hear me out, man of prestige. Oh, hear me out. Don't you think Trump is the devil, Because Democrats, they don't show you their true face. That is the problem. You think they are nice, but you don't see their true face. At least Trump barely lies. He just tells you what he thinks. But Democrats, they'll be saying, "Oh, we love you. We are trying to help
What are you talking about?
They'll make sure you
Did
don't
you
have
just say
children."
Trump really lies?
I'm done now. You find out now. We'll unmask all this conspiracy.
Trump lies 36
No.
hours.
I mean, his intention is clear. He doesn't hide it. But let me ask this question though: why do you think he talks about annexing Canada? Now I'm beginning to think twice. When I first heard it, I thought it was crazy, but it makes sense. But let me see whether you can make sense of it. Why do you think he wants to annex Canada?
Forefathers, I think what you are doing is not good moderating here. You've asked an initial question, and many people have deposited. Now, you have just allowed people to deposit one opinion.
Forefathers, yeah, can I have my turn, please?
Okay, you want me to go to the next person? Is that it? Okay, fine.
Yeah, can I have my turn?
That's
okay,
not fair
man
moderation.
this guy
If you
don't
want to
do
do this, then give us a limited time for people to give.
But when it comes to your turn, I will ask you questions like that too now.
But you mean that we lose direction. Let us operate like vector quantities here. Let's have a.
We're not losing direction. What direction are we losing? I'm asking about Trump. We are talking about Trump and asking about Trump.
I mean,
I don't know what direction we are losing.
He's just a rhetoric. He can annex Canada. I mean, Canada is a very rich country. All it's noise. You can annex Canada. You know that. You and I know that. That's not possible.
Are you looking at this? I think the first time I read this, I thought this was silly. But I'm beginning to think it's more serious than people realize. But I will give the reason later on. Let's go to the next person before
go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's Tony now.
No, it's me. No,
yeah, it's not you. It's not you, Kenneth. It's not your turn.
I didn't change it. Hold on.
It's not your turn, Kenneth.
You were down on the screen, one side of the screen. You were down when
you kicked me out before. You remember?
Yes. Even if I kicked you out, your position is still there. That's why you are still ahead of Oga Ike and Dexter. Tony, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Greetings again greetings to everybody at the panel and those who are listening. Forefathers, I just want to I just want to take one item, and that's I want to talk about the crashes in the aviation industry in the US. If you recall, if you check, you would see that Elon Musk has a lot of contract with the US government, and one of them is in the aviation industry, and he is being investigated for some offenses or fraud or related issues before Trump won. So naturally, the first thing that he did was to target, just like Trump, target those institutions and persons and individuals who he feels are not MAGA or who have spoken against him or voted against him or have done anything, against his interest. So the first thing that Elon Musk did when Trump assigned that office to him was first to announce that all aviation workers, FAA, air traffic controllers, NTSB staff, all of them should resign. And so there was mass panic. And, there was mass panic in the industry. And it was, going to affect quite a lot of people who have been trained over the years, because this is a specialist field and you just can't go. And it's not one of those areas where you can just go and pick people like he's been doing and just put them and tell them to run the aviation industry. So on January 29th, the FAA, the head of the FAA, a black person that Kenneth talked about, resigned because maybe he didn't want to be a victim or be disgraced out of office. Now, when he left, the FAA was left without any head. So that same day, coincidentally, the 29th of January, on a Wednesday, you had on the night, in the evening, you had this Washington DC crash over Potomac River, and 67 people died. Now, the next day, being 30th, the White House panicked, and they appointed an acting head for the FAA. And then Trump made a silly comment. Even when investigations were ongoing, rescue operations were going on, and the black box has not been found, Trump said that the cause of the accident was DEI. In other words, he was saying indirectly, or even like directly, that it was because the people who were there were unqualified, they were black people. And when they asked him, a journalist asked him, how did you come to that? He said, because I have common sense. Now, that's on the 30th. That's on the 30th. That same 30th, excuse me, pardon me, there was a plane crash. This was in Santa Barbara in California. Santa Barbara Airport in California. 2 people were critically injured. On Friday, that's the next day, 31st, there was another plane crash. This was the Northeast Philly crash in Philadelphia. 7 people were killed, dozens injured. Then you skip over to the next month, February 1st, the Northam system, which is a critical information, service for the aviation industry, crashed, and flights were grounded in America for that day. They couldn't take off because the signaling system was down. Then on the 2nd of February, United Airlines plane in Houston, Texas, caught fire at the tarmac. Passengers were hurriedly evacuated. That same day, you had the Air Wisconsin crash at Chicago. On the 6th of February, you had another plane crash. That's the one at Alaska. All 10 persons died. On the 10th of February, there was a crash in Arizona. That is the Motley Crew Vance and Nail plane. 1 person died, 4 were injured. On the 9th of February, there was, you had another plane crash. Again in California, a small plane, crashed at Shafter. 2 people were injured. On the 13th, Air Force One that was carrying Rubio to Munich for a meeting was forced to return back to America. There was a fault in the plane. On the 16th, the same February, there was another plane crash. This was at Covington in Georgia. 2 people died. On the 17th, we had the Delta airline flash plane, that flew,
Okay,
from Minneapolis.
just in case, let's be fair here. Is it because of the crash that fell into the aircraft, the helicopter and the plane crash, that we are beginning to recount all these aircraft that are crashing in America?
No.
Have we checked whether it's unusual?
I'm going somewhere.
Usually high.
I'm going somewhere. I will come to that.
Okay.
Now, I said on the 17th of February, you had the Delta airline, which was flying, from Toronto. Flying from Minneapolis to Toronto. It landed and then, turned over, And then on the 19th, just a few days ago, 2 planes collided mid-air. At the Arizona, Marana, Arizona, 2 people died. Now, what is the connection to what I'm saying? You see, over 400 staff, employees in the aviation industry have been forced to leave. So you had an aviation industry that was totally bereft of specialists the people those who were remaining there, were panicky. They didn't know. Some of them went to court. They didn't know whether they're going to retain their jobs. Those who they were given, some were given voluntary rights to retire and then get benefits and so on. So there was so much confusion in the industry, and that confusion is affecting what you are seeing now. What I'm saying is that if you look at the entire operation, it doesn't show someone who is organized. You don't sack people who have acquired experience over the years for a critical industry like aviation. You ask them to go, you create panic in the industry, and then you don't expect this kind of confusion, this type of a thing to happen. And you don't have people stand by that you're going to feel, to take over the position. And we see this replicated almost everywhere. He fired the most senior black person in the military. He's firing himself and Elon Musk, firing people everywhere and putting people who are not qualified in various strategic places because he wants to settle scores. He wants them to try this person, try that person, and so on, because he wants to settle scores with perceived enemies. Now, I think we have to be praying for America, because the way he's going, I feel sorry for him, and I feel sorry for America. That's just what I want to say.
Thank you for that. I think we definitely should pray for America. If Nigeria was having all these crashes, oh my God, we will not hear the end of it. Oh, if Nigeria was having all these crashes, KD, we will not hear the end of it. Oh. Everybody will pray in the churches. Everybody will be thinking, what have we done to deserve this? But that's a lot of crashes. I have to say, that's a lot of crashes in the US. Who is next? I think it's
me.
Kene.
It's me. Yeah.
Welcome, Kene. Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
You see, indeed, we should be praying for America, for the kind of people that we have in America. People that have sense, but they can't use it, right? When people stay behind their keyboard, they don't travel, they don't see things, they believe whatever that comes their way. I've traversed this country. No state in this America that I've not stepped my foot in. So I am in the right position to educate you when it comes to America. I've been to places, I've been to major companies where I entered, everybody from A to Z were all black people, African Americans, and I love it. I've been to companies where I entered, everybody from A to Z were Indians. I love it. I've equally been to a company where everybody from A to Z were white. I love it. I love it because the customer service I needed was given to me. Simple. I go my way. I've equally been to companies where I meet mixed people, black, white, everybody together. I love it. I don't care your skin color. But you see, people tend to believe whatever that is being dished out to them from
Hold on,
BBC, CNN.
Can you give us example?
Forefathers, pin him, mute him. Be fair, Forefathers, mute him, please. I have my time. Now, people don't travel, so their education is limited. Their level of education is very limited. And these are the exact people that will sit in front of camera and speak rubbish, thinking that they are making sense. That is fine. Now, somebody said that there are protesters on the street. Yes, when Trump lost the election, people protested. They were all arrested and jailed. They were called terrorists. But Trump won the election, and their evils, corruption is being exposed, and they were protesting. None of them has been arrested, showing that Trump is more of a Democrat than the Democrats themselves. Now, for the people that lack education history of this America, let me educate you a little bit. Republicans were actually the party that fought for liberation of black people. Martin Luther King was a Republican till he died. His granddaughter has been a Republican, a strong backboner to Trump and conservatives. Till tomorrow, his family, Martin Luther King's family, are still Republicans till tomorrow. Now, for the people that are saying that the black people of this country were cheated, or the black people of this country were looked down upon, no, let me educate you. I shared something on the comment section. I don't know how to share it here privately for forefathers to share, for everybody to see facts, not propaganda. That in 2020, forefathers, give me time, please. You gave this our sister time, please. In 2020,
not over time, but I'll give you time.
Yeah, in 2020, the election between 2020 and that of 2025, I will summarize. 2024, I will summarize it. I don't want to go in details. Democrats gained 4% of voters from college students. 4%, aggregate 43% vote from college students. White voters that have college degree, Democrats gain 7 points, aggregate 32%. Voters of color, that is black people with college degree, Republicans gain 8%. I don't know 8% and 7%, which one is higher. But today, Republicans voters are the uneducated. Talk for yourself. Now, we have no college degree voters. They don't have college degree, both white and black joined together, everybody, no college degree. 8% voted for Republicans. Now we have white voters without degree. White voters without degree, again, gain Democrats gain 4 points, aggregate 39%. But today, CNN has touted, brainwashed these people, these gullible liberals, Democrats that don't think for themselves, to believe that Republicans voters are mainly or mostly uneducated people. Yes, I'm uneducated. How about that? And I love Democrats. I love Republicans, and I voted for them. Somebody was saying that a remorse. The comment section asked me to use the right word. A remorse supported Trump with over 130 million naira. Why wouldn't he support Trump? When he was supporting Democrats, did you call him out? When he supported Democrats with billions of dollars, did you say that it was because of white supremacists? You see how people think? Sore losers. When they lose, they don't want to take it with good faith. They will keep crying. What has become has been unburdened. Fine now, take it. be proud that you lost the election and march forward. Every day you'll be crying. Now, Elon Musk, his son was deceived. His son become a woman. His son become a gay. He lost his son. And because of that, this man is angry and say, no, this Democrat that I supported, not to talk of their level of corruption, now I'm going against them. He said it on many interviews that why he left Democrats is because they stole his son, they deceived his son, they destroyed his son. His son become gay, and he said no over his dead body for him to see, watch, sit down and see this party come to power again. This is a love from a father with so much love for his son. And somebody is here to propagate false narratives because, as you rightly know, there are different types of Democrats. When you see liberals, they're of different forms and shapes. We have the gullible ones, we have the stupid ones, we have the clueless ones, we have the dumb ones. And these are the people that claim they went to school and they use their brain. They don't have one thinking ability they don't have. Now, why did Democrats lose the election? One, they think for you. They think they know more than every other Americans. They can think for everybody, just the way they've been thinking for you. It came to a time where the Hispanics said, no, we can't believe these people anymore. The Black American men with college degree that went to school, that are educated, that are rich, said, no, we can't vote for these people anymore. They are destroying our community. Democrat is a cancer. Democrat is a disease that you don't want in your life, but you go out to vote for them. Black men said, no, we can't vote for this party anymore. And they turned around and voted for Republicans. And some people are still crying over it. Democrat lost because their propaganda has been checkmate. Their propaganda has been exposed. They cannot be deceiving everybody all the time. But some people have chosen to be mumu forever. No problem.
Thank you.
Black men, black people. Hold on. Yeah, please, let me round up.
Okay.
Somebody said that whenever you see a black man making progress, he's being hunted. Who is that black man? Obama? List one thing. I'm not saying two. One good thing that Obama did for black people, whether black Americans or Africans. One singular thing, and I will raise my hands for you. One thing. This guy went to Libya. I said black people.
Yeah, not people.
I'm not saying about individual party, his friend's appointment and all that. He went to Libya and destroyed Libya. Is Libya not Africa? He went to Nigeria and destroyed Nigeria. Is Nigeria not Africa? Where you actually come from? You don't know history. You don't know politics. Let us educate you. You come on TV and you want to make noise.
People are in different places.
Destroy Congo. You think Rwanda destroyed Congo?
Yes, that's true.
Now, this is what Obama gave black people. Tell me one benefit, one thing black men and women in this country benefited from Obama other than gay rights and abortion rights. Somebody came on this platform last time and was apologizing on behalf of men over what I said. It is because of, let me tell you, it was because of your old age that made me not to come back and lambast you into pieces. Why are you apologizing? I said I'm against abortion. How is that a bad thing? I'm against abortion. You cannot be opening your leg anyhow. And then you use our taxpayers' money to go and abort the baby. This is what I said I'm against. And one old man is coming here to apologize. It's because of your old age. That was why I did not come here to give it back to you that day. I have the right to say I'm against abortion and I'm against gay anywhere, anytime. Me, Kenechuk, I'm against it. How about that?
Let me play this, Kenny. This might help. This might help you. Let me just play something so you can hear this. You might fancy.
Prism, right? It's actually very closed. They call it the open society, but it's very closed because you can never get out. What kind of society is that? The society you can never leave? That's a totalitarian society. And they say we'll treat
get out.
yeah, only
What
the
kind of
people
society
survive,
is that? The society you can never leave?
right? Everybody else
Somebody's
goes
audio
to
is
gulag.
on.
Or
They say we'll get out.
be allowed to be born into that society because your mothers will be sterilized or you'll be aborted or something. Right? Did you know that in the United States in 2023, last year, American women had more than 1 million abortions. They only gave birth to 4.5 million children. It means almost, 3.5 million children. They gave birth to 3.5 million children and had 1 million abortions. That means total, right? There's for every child conceived in the USA, there's a chance of 1 in 4.5 that you'll be aborted if you're born in the USA. That makes the American womb almost the most dangerous place for a child to be born in. You'd be better off to be born of a Muslim mother in North Africa. The chance that you'll be aborted is near zero, right? But in the United States, the American woman's womb is a killing field, mass killing field. Now, I'm not saying it's liberal white women having these abortions. They're probably not even having pregnancies, but it can be that it's half of them had more than 1 million abortions. They only gave birth to 4.5 million children. It means almost 3.5 million.
Sorry about that.
They gave birth to
YouTube
3.5
normally
million
does this.
children
Sometimes they
and
rewind
had 1
something when
million
you stop
abortions.
it.
That means total, right? There's for every child conceived in the USA, there's a chance of 1 in 4.5 that you'll be aborted if you're born in the USA. That makes the American womb almost the most dangerous place for a child to be born in. You'd be better off to be born of a Muslim mother in North Africa. The chance that you'll be aborted is near zero, right? But in the United States, the American woman's womb is a killing field, mass killing field. Now, I'm not saying it's liberal white women having these abortions. They're probably not even having pregnancies, but it can be that it's half of them could be African American children. But imagine that if the African Americans in the USA would refuse to have abortions through their sheer fecundity, they would take over the USA within a decade. They'd have more children than the Amish, right? But apparently no one tells them to do that. I'm not telling them to do that.
Forefathers, that is very true. In New York, there are more children that are killed, that are
let me round
aborted
up.
than
Yeah,
are
let me
born.
round up. Yeah, let me round up, right? So, forefathers, when it comes to American politics, when you hear Nigerians, especially in America, don't be fooled. A lot of us in America don't have common sense. I'm just telling you the truth. You see them, they come here, they stuff their brain with burger and cheese. They don't think well. I'm being honest with you. I've lived. These people, I know them personally. You will find more of seasoned Nigerians in the UK. I'm not here to glorify UK, but you see a lot of most of seasoned Nigerians in the UK than you have in America. They are all burger and cheese, fill their head, they don't think well. These are the people that in their household, they detest anything homosexual. In their household, they will go against anything abortion. They will tend to train their children to behave morally right, but they will still come out there and vote for a party that encourages and legalizes this nonsense in a society just because of one thing. Because they were lied to that if they have Democrats in power, they will be able to bring their relatives from Nigeria to America. Now I ask you, you Democrats, you Nigerians supporting Democrats and liberals, how many of your family have you brought under Biden? How many of your friends have you brought to America under Biden? You see, their level of education has come. Let me tell you, Democrats and Republicans, I used to be a Democrat. That time I knew nothing. I was gullible. I accept. I was I was unfortunate at that time. I accept. I used to be a strong Democrat. Matter of fact, if you come on my Facebook page, it was Obama's picture that you see there. I love that guy because I was so unfortunate, just like a bunch of these Democrat supporters. I don't know otherwise. Not until I sat down and I got into the system and I begin to I realized that, so I've been fooling myself with this bunch of eflefus, gullible Nigerians. And I detach myself from them. And that is why talk from now to tomorrow. Unless if I see anybody that is as unfortunate as Democrats entering Republicans, then I will leave Republicans. But you see, Trump, I support Trump and I will vote for Trump 2 million times. Please, the economy has been bastardized.
Thank you now, Kenny. Come on, let's not make that. You know, Dexter is going to start complaining now. We don't need Dexter to go to start his pitch.
Just give me 30 seconds. Fact check.
Okay,
Let me fact check again.
It is not your time to
let me fact check again. I think Ekene is wrong in so many places. But Ekene, what I have to tell you, when we come here with due respect, we have to talk on a political narrative. You can disagree with me, but there's no need demonizing people, personality. I think that's
somebody demonized people's personality. She was given time to demonize everybody here.
Ekene said that Martin Luther King was a Republican. That is totally lie. The only person that made that comment was Aviado. Martin Luther King. He was a disenfranchised member of that family. He made that pronunciation. Up to today, that has not been substantiated.
What party was Martin Luther King? What party was Martin Luther King?
Okay, let's go to the next person. Let's go to the next person. I told you people now. Let's bring Dexter in. Dexter, welcome. Dexter, you are on one side. I don't know. This one, your camera is on one side.
My AI is controlling me. Don't worry about that.
Your AI is controlling you. And okay. Well, welcome. So, what do you make of this conversation so far with Trump? I think people on either side tend to go too far. Like Kene, sometimes he thinks that Trump is the right person, but he also goes further to say that what Trump is doing is actually he deliberately actually wants to benefit us. I don't believe that. Trump is doing it for his own people. And Democrats, on the other hand, they believe that Trump is evil. The Democrats are good, that the Democrats mean well. And that too is a naive way of looking at things. The Democrats historically have been shown to be devastating to our community. Like that video that was just played about abortion rates. They are replicating the same thing in Africa. They send about 2/3 of the money they spend for family planning around the world, 2/3 of it goes to Africa to target that aspect so that our population does not grow, because they understand the power of population. But that said, I'm just trying to get you to examine, to strike a balance. Let's see whether you can settle both sides, Democrats and Republicans. Bring Kene and Madame Bibire together. Let's
don't lock me up. I am gonna I go with the fact. I go what is on right. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm an independent voter. But I tell you, I have my own view. So everything that that was talked about, I am not going to speak it because there's no one single fact in that. So yeah. So I'm not. Don't lock me up with. Don't lock me up. Don't lock me up
when
with.
you face them with facts.
No. Can they calm down? Can they calm down? You're not helping.
Because I said that to say that people don't understand Republican. Even Abraham Lincoln fought for emancipation of Black people, but there was something called Southern strategy, and there was party realignment at some point. So in American history, we should know more about American history. There is party realignment before FDR. So people should understand that it happened. There was something called Southern strategy that happened in American history. Look more into that, read into that. So I deal with facts. I'm not a Republican or Democrat. I'm not a fanatic of anybody. I don't idolize politicians. I don't. But I deal with the fact because fact remains fact. Look at Southern strategy and look at party realignment. This Dixiecrat, the left Democrat, because they are white supremacists. They support slavery. And when Democrats decided to end there was party realignment, their ideology realigned. If you look at it today, who has more diversity in their party? A party where you have Bernie Sanders, who is a progressive, you have a liberal person, which they're all clashing. So, but Republicans, they understand their assignment. They follow in a lockstep. They are white supremacists. And so I have my opinion, but I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, but fact remains fact. I deal with fact. So I don't do fact over
We know Biden is the one that passed the crime bill that got a lot of black people thrown in jail. That wasn't a Republican that did it. A so-called multicultural and multi-ethnic party. They did that, and they also implemented the this thing, Planned Parenthood, this thing program in so many black communities.
I asked a question. What was that thing that Obama did for black people? One thing that Obama did for black people. That has not been answered. No answer for that one.
Sorry, can you let Kandu hasn't said anything for a long time.
Sorry, forefathers. I was about.
Don't worry, you will settle them. Your job is to settle all of them. So that everybody will agree.
You know one interesting thing? A good 46% of black men in America have never gone to jail. You see, usually when you don't do something, you don't tend to go to jail. Usually. There can be exceptions to the rule. You can be stopped by the police. And like I've said, I've been in this country, America, for 36 years. I've been stopped many times. Most of the time was my fault.
Try to keep it brief. We don't have a lot of time.
Refuse to put a license plate on the car. So
you are as guilty as Obama, as Trump.
Come on, don't do this now. Let it finish. We have to go quickly because we have not even talked about another topic.
Usually, when you don't do something wrong, you don't tend to get arrested. That does not mean that somebody cannot profile you and all of that. But black Americans, I'm not talking about Africans, in this country, 46% of them have never been to jail. How come?
46% of them have not been to jail. Black American, okay, that includes the females. But if you target the males, then you get a different number.
No, the percentage of black, forefathers, the percentage of black men that have been to, American men that have been to jail I'm sure is even way, way less than that. What is even the entire American jail population is 2 million. 2 million.
That's a lot of people.
What is 2%? What percentage of 2% is 330 or 300?
No. They are swapping.
You have a lot of people who haven't spoken.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people who haven't spoken.
Let's try to make it snappy and professional. Let's be professional people now. This is NTA. That's a bad place to start. Dexter, please go ahead. What do you make of the conversation? As you can see, a lot of people have different opinions about these things. Please try to bring them together.
Well, what I can say is this: we are human beings, so we're going to have different opinions, and everybody has different school of thought. If you schooled in Russia, you definitely like the Russian product. If you schooled in China, you propagate the Chinese product. But in all these conversations, what I can see is that we seem to be making the same mistakes our forefathers made, which is majoring on the minor. And I said something the last time. When the white people came to the African coast, they noticed that we were such a carefree people. We didn't care. We didn't actually take our security serious. We were interested in dancing. Our chiefs were rather interested in liquor. And by the time they give them liquor, they were encouraged. It will make them they were ready to sell their people. My point here is this. Trump or no Trump, there's something you have been saying, forefathers, which is true. Trump is there for his people. We have to accept that. Trump is there for his people. The question I ask is, our own, what are we there for? Many of us here in America, in the same America we are castigating it. There's one policy I have anywhere I go to. When you are in a house, when you live in a house, don't be the one to set the house on fire. If you leave the house and you want the house to burn, fine, it's okay. But my question is this: for everybody that is there, how many of them have thought about, okay, look, the reason why we are even talking like this is because, one, many of us is out of fear because we don't even have a place to go back to. I think, was it who said it here, that if tomorrow they now say, oh yeah, you go back, everybody go back home. Some of us feel that we'll be there forever. We think we want to hold on to something. So that is why you have some people bantering to the Democrats or bantering to the Republicans, because they want to hold on to, okay, this is what will guarantee my stay here. But it shows that we have not built our home. Because the truth about it is that Africa is the biggest continent in the world. Africa is the biggest continent. Forget about the world map you see. Africa is the biggest continent in the world. So the black race have the biggest land mass in the world. We are busy talking about America that will enter into Africa twice. That is what we are arguing about. And we have not thought about what are we going to do. What are we going to do? I mean, we're talking about elections in America. What is happening in Nigeria? We're talking about DEI. Why is there DEI? Is there no worse than DEI happening in your home country? Is there no look? The DEI happening in Nigeria is not part of what is destroying Nigeria. Is it not part of what is destroying Nigeria? Or is it because you are not on the other end of it? But my point is, this is my question to everybody. Why we introspect on all these things? It's good, well, we can have all these opinions, but I think at the end of the day, the point everybody should be asking is, how am I going back to my home country to make my home country a place whereby, I mean, okay, think about it. If a white man comes to Nigeria, if there's a small white population that comes to Nigeria and they want to now start holding elected positions, how many of us, let us be honest with ourselves, how many of us will happily vote for them? If there's a small white population that comes to some African countries, and even in South Africa they are in, we are saying, oh, they came through this one, they were saying, if there's a small white population, do you know what it takes for a white man to get a Nigerian Nigerian passport? Do you know what it takes? It's almost impossible for a white that say he wants to naturalize in Nigeria. In fact, after he naturalizes, his children will not even get anything because of their skin color. My point is, what you know, this talk of okay, the Americans are doing this, Trump is doing that. What are we doing? What is it we are taking back? What are we planning to do? Because it seems like we don't plan to do anything, and we want to just keep feeding on this economy. And if it is what is benefiting us, fine. Like I said, there was the slaves. You had two categories of slaves: the ones that were working in the plantation and the ones that were working inside the house. The ones working inside the house were fattened. The ones working in the plantation were receiving the oppression, and the ones working inside the house always felt that it was good. And they were ready to keep their status. There's a film called The Jungle, which explains it very well. Some of us feel we want to protect that our bubble. And oh, it is the Democrats that are Democrats. Oh, because Kamala Harris is black. Oh, no. The truth is this. If the African continent had done well, you will find out that the blacks in America would have been running back to their roots. We'll be running back. You people captured me. Look at the way the Jews are running back to Israel, saying, "Let us go back and let us to bust your bubble." The Jews were very successful people. They were very, very successful people. But they said, "Oh, we are very successful people. Let's go back and set up a place for ourselves." For you can argue about the Palestinian thing, whatever. That is a different talk. But my question is for the blacks, for us. We are majoring so much on Trumpism, whether Trump wants to take Canada. Some people are trying to say, oh, they are trying to decipher what is in Trump's head. Why are we bothering? Meanwhile, our house is on fire. Our house, Pafuka, everything is. We're busy in another man's house. Now, okay, is this whether Trump, you see, Trump is doing what he thinks is good for his country. And it's not for us to. Why are we debating about it? Why?
Thank you, Dexter. I appreciate that. That Canada one, you know, earlier on when I said Americans wanted to break the country up, that's the right-wing people that feel that foreigners are going to come and take over. They want to break the country up because of that. They want to maintain their dominant population. That could be what Trump is trying to solve. If he's able to annex Canada, Canada is majority white, is going to reinforce the white population in the US, and it may forestall the fear that they have that Hispanics are going to come and take over the entire. And many of those Hispanics are Native Americans too. They tend to have mixture of Native Americans, so they don't want that situation to occur. So to think that it's a joke, the Canadian leader said, "This is real. Don't play around." And when they are saying this is, I thought at first it was a joke, but when I think about it again, it might solve that problem of trying to break the country up. Because if they reinforce their white population dominance, for the next 50 years or so, they will still be in the majority in the country if Canada joins. But that's another topic altogether. So, Oga Ike, I think it's your turn. You've not had a chance. Oh, and Jide is there too. And time is running short very, very fast. I take it that there is a show at 11 UK time, the time that the whole world revolves around. Let's not shake it with all this Eastern time. The time is GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. That's what it's called. And so it's 11 p.m. that the women's show will start. So we have about, let me get the time remaining now. We have 37 minutes to round this up, and I will talk about Nigeria a bit too, because this US aid stuff, I think we need to get into it a little bit. So Oga Ike, thank you for joining us. So what do you make about Trump? You like him? Do you do you think he's a good guy? Do you think he's helping us in any way? Thank you for joining us, Oga Ike.
I've always said that the people that live in the US deal with it. I don't live in the US. So whatever you go through over there, deal with your situation. The only question I want to ask to Chide, if he can search for me, what my brother Kenneth said, that the King family, that they are Republican. I want people who live in the US to confirm that, if they are, or they are not affiliated.
It is not, without due respect, is not Republican. Is not Democrat. It does not have any political affiliation.
Okay.
Is his family? No, his family. Are they Republicans?
Good question. I don't know about his family, but him as an individual.
Okay, you should know now. You should have all this information before you say no, it's not true. You see, that is the problem.
Him and his family is different.
We don't do our homework.
A lot of his family members are actually definitely leaning.
He voted for Republicans in 1956.
I said a lot of.
He has been identifying with Republicans till he died.
You said what about his family? And I said a lot of his family members tend to be democratically leaning.
Well, how does it matter if his family is Republican?
Exactly. Even if he was a Republican, what difference does it make? You know, like a lot of people have said, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. The question I ask myself is, who is this person? What are their policies? Does it make sense to me? I don't care.
From the information that I just gathered, Martin Luther King himself was not Republican. His family members are more associated with Democrats than Republicans, and it should be expected. It's almost like it's like the norm for this thing to be part of the Democratic Party.
My point is it his family that is celebrated?
Black Americans.
It is him that is celebrated, right? My point is, it is not his family that is celebrated.
Exactly. I mean, let's
go back to Oga Ike. Let's go back to Oga Ike. He has the question.
The only thing I say is that wherever we live, we always want a better life for everybody wherever we live. If the economy of America is good.
Fathers, I will share a link in the comment section, please. It's a very healthy link. Can you upload it for everybody to see? Please share it. Misinformation is very bad.
Okay.
My wish for my brothers and sisters who live in the US is that let the economy be good for everybody and let people.
Is that me or you are muted yourself, or Oga Ike? You want to unmute?
Okay. Sorry. So what I'm saying is that for my brothers and sisters who live in America, my hope is that the economy will do you good and the environment will do you good. I don't live in the US, so whatever goes on there is different from what goes on where I live. So we have our own peculiar situations everywhere. But my question to most of you who live in the US, how much is a pack of egg in the US right now? People who buy egg, how much is egg? My sister Adama, how much is a pack of egg in your New York?
I buy my egg from Whole Food Market and I get the organic, so it's the kind of expensive. It's now $9.99, like $10.
I still get mine for $6.
I can
answer it?
I know.
We've been
Okay, I
having
be careful about asking questions. Okay, they
yeah,
will ask
we've been
all of
having scarcity
Brother,
of
how
eggs
much is it in
since
Georgia?
over 9 months ago. What I eat in my house is brown eggs, right? Brown egg. But since over 9 months, it's very hard for you to find brown egg in the US. If you're
No, it's
lucky enough,
not.
Okay,
No,
hold on,
it's
okay,
no,
not.
no,
No,
hold
it's
on,
not.
hold
Go to
on, hold on now,
Costco. Costco
hold on,
has it.
hold on.
Sam's Club has
Yeah,
it. BJ's
I finish?
has it.
Yeah, can I
Foreigners,
finish?
Yes.
foreigners
Yeah, can I
now.
finish? If you're lucky
calm
enough
down, easy.
to find brown egg with at Sam's Club or Costco, before I bet you before 2 hours is gone. It
No,
Thank
it's
you,
comes in a
thank
not.
you.
very
okay,
Let's
limited
keep
quantity.
be brief. Let's
okay,
get back.
Very
Let's get
You're
limited
back
not
to Oga
quantity.
asking
Ike.
the question
I
okay,
think
right.
you've
okay,
You
You're
answered
understand?
it now. Let's go
contradicting.
back
So,
to
and
Oga
the
okay,
Ike
cost,
now.
Wow.
the cost is
Oh,
because
Kenny,
of
stop
bird
talking now. You're
flu.
making yourself so unpopular,
okay,
Kenny. Come on, stop
okay,
it.
Ike,
Calm
okay, Ike.
down.
Let me tell you, I just
Oh,
bought
Profitas,
eggs at
I want
Walmart.
us to be frank
I
Let's
here.
just
get
bought,
back to Oga Ike.
I
He
just
didn't ask everybody. Okay,
bought
There
can we
was
eggs
calm
at
down?
Walmart yesterday.
Can
avian
we?
flu.
Okay, Kenny,
He
Kenny,
asked
Kenny,
me
stop.
Hold on now.
specifically. Can I talk?
Let's
Wait,
go back to
Thank
Oga Ike.
you.
I just bought,
Kandu,
I just
hold
bought,
on.
Ike,
Kandu,
I
hold
just
on.
bought eggs. Let me tell
Hold
him, I just
on,
bought
Kandu.
yesterday. Yes,
Please, Oga Ike. Have they answered your question? You're asking for trouble. What is question you're asking?
No,
Oh,
no, listen,
you will
Okay,
listen.
not
Ike, this
stop.
is the question. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Fafa.
I,
Okay,
I,
Ike,
I
brown
asked
egg
that.
is available everywhere. It depends on where you shop. If you shop in Kroger, if you shop in Costco, if you shop in Aristide, it's available. Look at Dr. Alexandra Gomez just wrote it. It's on the. I don't know why people are making such a big
Was
deal
there
out of
avian
eggs.
flu? Was there avian flu in this country?
Hey
We're
God.
not talking about
Are
Was
we
there
talking
flu.
about
avian flu
egg
in this
now?
country?
Eh?
We're talking about
Yeah,
Where?
avian
Oh
flu.
my God.
flu. We're not talking about flu. Differentiate the two. We're not talking
You
about that.
know,
We're
you
talking
know.
about brown eggs right now.
Can
And you
we
said
calm
it's
down?
not available.
See, Desta just said we major in the minor, and now we just go straight to major in the minor and talking about eggs. Eh?
Yeah, no, listen, forefathers, I have my reason for asking because my sister Adama said she eats organic. But if my sister Adama know about the other normal egg, the white or the brown egg, how much is it? Because why I'm
okay,
asking,
Ike,
The,
Ike.
the, the,
I just bought, Ike. I
go
just
ahead.
bought
Go
eggs
ahead, Mr.
yesterday.
Kandu.
I just bought eggs yesterday from Costco. I bought these are not organic. These are not organic. A pack of 60. I bought each pack of 60 for $22.99 yesterday, and there is boku of them there. Boku.
okay, why I'm asking for that is because uh, where I live in my beautiful island right now, egg is very expensive because the local eggs here is not enough. We buy American egg right now at $6.99 per 12, a packet of 12.
Sir,
Here, where
are
I
you
live,
saying 6.99? Is that in euros where you
no,
are?
in dollar,
In
6.99
dollars.
in dollar
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I buy egg in my island right now, because also we have a scarcity of egg here. So that's why I am asking, because the cost of bringing the egg from the US, and at the end of the day, some people were telling me at that 12 packet of egg, they buy at $12 in the US. I don't know how true is it,
So
or
what happened
8.99.
to eggs now? Are the chickens not laying eggs anymore? Are
Foreigners,
they
that
are,
was what I was trying to tell you.
are they doing
No, there was
sex
foreigners,
change now? Are
foreigners,
they becoming woke to what is going
foreigners,
on?
foreigners. That was what I was
What
trying to.
happened to the eggs?
Okay, can we
Yeah, that was what I
allow
was trying
Ike
to
to
tell you.
finish, please?
There
Let's
was
have
an
some
outbreak of
decorum here,
avian flu,
please.
right? There was an outbreak of avian flu, and that affected poultry. Simple. So
Okay,
Okay,
thank
whomever
you.
that want to cook up propaganda now, just be ready because the truth is there.
okay, thank you, my brother. The only thing why I use the common daily food for 90% families around the world is to know that for me personally, I want to see in the next 6 months what the government in the US will look like, because the disruption everywhere around the world is alarming everywhere. So let me see what it's going to be in 6 months. But my hope is that I'm talking about my people in the US. My hope is that things continue to get better, because that is the reason most of the people who supported Trump, that the economy and everything will be good for people. So I hope it's going to be like that. But the effect of his administration already is being felt everywhere. And some area is completely a lot of negative things. Europe right now, you saw what happened between the vice president and the foreign minister of Germany. It was really hot. So, it's like we don't know where we are going, but my prayer is that the world is safe, for the next 4 years. That's all I have to say concerning the issue of America. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Who is next that hasn't spoken? Yeah, Jide hasn't said anything today. Let's get Jide on. Jide, welcome. And let me get Jefferson, and I will give the last word to Madam Bibire, since we are very, very open society. We welcome everybody. All right. Jide, Jide is not looking good. Jide, are you upset? Come on. Everybody likes to go long here.
People are angry.
You're not open anything. You're not open.
So, what do you make of Trump now? What do you make of all this? You've heard everything they've got to say. I'm sure you have something about it.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot to say, really. So the thing is, you see, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. You see, America's politics is influenced by 3 factors: race, class, and ideology. Race, class, and ideology. And you see, those 3 things, they really influence America's politics. You see, I've said it before so many times, I'm saying it again. America's foreign policy it doesn't matter if it is the Republicans or Democrats, they implement the same foreign policy. Yeah, they have differences, right? But my own concern is, I've listened to so many people talk. They talk about this culture war, right? The LGBTQ plus, the abortion thing. Yeah, like, my concern is all these things, LGBTQ plus, abortion, what are they calling it? And gay rights. I can give so many other examples. How do that make Americans that are homeless? How do that provide housing for them? How do that provide good health care for America, for the American people and we that live in America? How does that provide quality education? How does that provide and improve the quality of lives of people? So we need to be very careful. You see, I have my own reservation about LGBT plus and everything, called the culture wars that divides both political parties. But we need to understand that there are bigger issues that we need to actually focus on. And those bigger issues, the 2 political parties, they don't give a damn. And that was one of the major, and one thing we need to understand, you see, I've listened to many people talk about, both from the Democrat side or those that give their opinion, but it seems like it's kind of leaning to the Democrats, and those that are kind of claiming to be MAGA explicitly, we know them. So the point is, you see, when these are in the West, we need to understand, you see, we Nigerians, we Black Africans, that's what I was saying earlier, when Brother Rudolph was here. We need to understand Western politics very, very well. We need to understand the politics of this, number one, we live here. Number 2, they play a huge influence in our country. They are the ones controlling our country. So we need to understand their politics. We need to understand the politics of our oppressor. So why I'm saying this is, if you look at the politics of the West, when the liberal Democrats fail, they move far right. What we are seeing now in the Western world now, particularly in the US and Western Europe, is most of the political movements is now moving towards the right. They're now moving away from the liberal Democrat ideology to the right. And that is what happens. In capitalism, the immune system is fascism. And as a Black man, if you are fascistic in your thinking, you have a long way to go. You have a long way to go. It's like you don't want to liberate yourself at all. It's like you don't want to liberate yourself at all. But that's by the way. So the point is, now America right now, that's the liberal democratic system that we have. It seems like it is failing. And instead of us to move towards the left, we're now moving towards the right. So what do I mean by moving towards the right? Now, we are now seeing that we are now having oligarchic control of the country. And as a result of that, there's furthermore deregulation in America. A furthermore deregulation, less government intervention, and it is now impacting the country as a whole. That everything that everybody has said, that's what is going on. Elon Musk and Donald Trump, they won the election, like I said, because they're not moving right wing from center right. Because Democrats are like center right. Now we're not moving right wing now, like towards far right white nationalists. So what was going on now is we now have oligarchic control, full oligarchic control of the US. And there are two things that will result in that in the future. It's either we move towards fascism. I hope that's not going to happen, because even the ones that are shouting MAGA, I swear, when that time comes, you won't be able to escape it though. Either we move towards fascism, or we that we live in the US, we organize and take power.
The same way we had it 4 years when he was, in office in his first tenure, right? We had it that time, right? You are all prophets now.
I'm not a Democrat. I just explained something to you. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not here to give you who is better. I'm giving you political analysis. If you like, go and think about it and go and get more understanding, or you lean towards your MAGA and be like you are not living it. It's your business. You are an adult. You can make sense.
I think what is going on is
no,
that
you know their style. They are not MAGA. They are not Democrats, but they support.
Fofana, why are people not muted if they're not talking? Like, why can't people allow people to finish?
They don't.
Yeah, I have a lot I want to say.
Kene, you are really making yourself unpopular. Kene, let me say this. Kene, you are one of the best speakers when you want to champion your point of view, and you come with your own opinion.
I was interrupted here, and Adama did not call the person out. Adama, take your time. I was interrupted. You did not call the person out.
Let me finish. You can champion your own view. People will hear you clearly. But the way you are behaving, you are going to turn people on against your opinions. If you care about your opinion, don't carry on like that. You know me, I am like you. People hate me because my opinion, I rub it in people's faces. You don't want to copy me. So go ahead, Ejide.
Yes, thank you so much. I was going to because we need to be, me, like I said, I'm not into any of them. I keep saying it. So as I was saying earlier, both parties, they haven't done anything to serve the interest of African people in America. Both African American, like it is black people, let me just say black people, they do not serve our interests. As Democrats have been in power for years, they fail to serve the needs and the interests of African people in America. Same with the Republicans. Not, so we need to understand these things. And as things are going right now in America, if there is no significant intervention by the people, it's going to get worse for we black people. It's going to get really, really bad. It is not bad now, but this is how it starts. If you remember, if you know the history of Germany, before Adolf Hitler got to power, you had the liberal Democrats failed. The people started to move right wing. I don't want to digress. That's what we are seeing right now in the US. So there have to be a rapid organization and response by the American people.
I think your fear is founded based on history of Germany and all that. But I think in America, if you look at it, the American, democratic liberals, they seem like they are weak right now, isn't it? But when all the chips are down, I assure you the right wing will lose, because the coalition that will be put together from white, black, Hispanic, even South American, almost the entire South American continent will be against the Republicans. So they will lose, and they know that. They know that eventually, but the only way they can, this is why they are thinking breaking the country up is their solution, because they can't expect to force the entire country under their dictatorship. It's going to be very, very hard. And I don't even think it's possible. Your argument about oligarchs is very interesting, because the same argument Madam Bibire made, and it almost appears as if the pretense, they are beginning to throw away all the pretense of, I keep telling our people that you are on WhatsApp. They are spying on you. When you submit your information to WhatsApp, it belongs to American government. Don't think WhatsApp is a private institution. They are all the same entities. Just like this is why I support Dangote. When people say they are against Dangote, I say Dangote is part of a Nigerian institution. You're just looking at it like it's just this. No, if Dangote does something, it affects the Nigerian state, and the Nigerian state is going to be watching out for it. That's how they treat their own countries too. Now, all the pretense is coming off. Apple, that is known in history that they never give up their security to government. They gave it to the UK government just yesterday. They handed it over to them.
Yeah,
this is something that they said Chinese government used to do. They are doing it openly now. They're not hiding it.
Yeah, very right.
It's the new age, and I believe that in the end, when the people wake up, they will turn on these people. Because I don't think people are going to go back to
That's what
reformist
I'm
state.
saying. The
will
people
not
need to
accept it.
wake up. This culture war, abortion, people need to grow up and wake up. What we are seeing right now
It will
is
take
the
time,
way
but
they
not yet.
manipulate. I mean, I just hope it's not going to take too long, man. Because where we are going
Who
right
knows
now
how
is
long
not
it's going to
fun.
take? It's got so many layers. It's going to
Honestly.
take,
And I was
some
going to
time.
talk about what's going on in Ukraine, but I don't know if
Go
I have
ahead.
enough
Go ahead.
time.
You have time. You have time. You can take take Jefferson's time too. I donate it to you.
No. Okay. So yeah, like
go ahead.
I was talking about
round up.
Yeah, I won't take too long. Yeah, we're going to talk about Ukraine. So we see what's going on this week. Donald Trump is now calling the diplomats in Russia and the diplomats in the US so that they can reach a deal, so that they can lead to a ceasefire in Ukraine. That was my prediction. I said it before now that there will be a temporary, quote unquote, they'll try to enforce a temporary peace deal with Russia so as to separate Russia from China. They are trying to because if you listen to Donald Trump's campaign, he advocated that Russia and China should not be united. I mentioned this before. The only way American imperialism can be sustained is to keep Russia and China away from each other, economically, diplomatically, politically. So now they're trying to, because that Ukraine war has made Russia and China to be united. So it's very important that now at this point, now that Russia is winning the war, they can stop the war and fight for another day and make sure there's a temporary ceasefire, maybe like that of Syria. And as they're doing that, they will delegate the responsibility of Ukraine to Europe. As if you listen to last week's security speech by J.D. Vance, he said that European NATO countries should increase their spending, their security spending. So they're not delegating that responsibility to NATO countries. So now the Cold War, so they're not trying to officially declare an official aggressive Cold War against China, just like what they did during the Cold War previously in the 70s, where they actually wooed China and they aggressively focused on the Soviet Union. So now they're doing the reverse.
That is quite an interesting take, actually. I'm not really. I always knew Trump dislikes China and would be willing to work with Russia. But you are putting in a way that's quite interesting that they are going to focus their Cold War against China. And it probably is, there's some truth there. There's likely to be some. It's China, and China could be in serious trouble here. It depends on whether Russia buys into it, though.
That's a good point. So the thing is, this is where it gets more interesting here. Under Putin, would they be able to reach a deal? That's the question mark. There are some elements.
No, they will reach a deal. The question is whether Russia will buy America, what America is selling. Because if Russia buys it, and they turn on China geographically, not strategically, then India, those ones, anything supremacy, they sign on very quickly. They are already supporting Americans. So they could squeeze China. You can see it's really where they squeeze China. And that could be, I don't know. It could go either way.
That's what I'm saying. So Putin has made it clear. If you listen to Dr. Carlson's interview with Putin, Dr. Carlson was making up that conversation with him. Like, China is a communist. They are not Christians like us. Then Putin dismissed and said that, hey, you're making boogeyman claims. China has always been our permanent ally for centuries. They've never invaded us, So I think what's going to happen is there are some elements within that Russian political cycle that are pro-Europe. Like some people like Medvedev and others. Those ones may actually want to woo Putin like, hey, we've been fighting this one for so long. Let's just go with these guys and leave China alone. So that may be a factor. But
I think it's a very good point you just made. I must say, I know that a lot of people may not understand. It's a geopolitical this thing that he described just now. It may sound like nothing, but it's actually more impactful to us than we like to believe. If these groups, because they are the biggest powers in the world, whatever they do affects us the more. That's why in I think 200 years ago, when the Europeans were fighting each other, we were in Africa thinking that it doesn't have anything to do with us. When they decided to go to Berlin Conference, we discovered very fast that it matters. So that's one of my biggest fear is if the West, Russia, and China and India comes together and we are still messed up. I will not say they come together. Let's say they stop fighting each other.
I don't see them coming together. So that's a good point. But I don't see, why they can't come together? Ideology
Why?
is very important. Ideology plays a factor in this. Chinese ideology is very different. It's antagonistic to Western ideology. So that's where ideology will never make them come together.
Are we done with the topics?
We don't have a choice anyway. Time would done us, has done us already. I think
So
Jefferson
we're
will
done
have
with
his
the
say.
topic.
Yeah, because I
I
think,
think
Adama, I take it that 11 o'clock. In a few minutes, your show is coming on.
Yes,
So
sir.
yes, we have 12 minutes. So Jide, let's round it up, and yeah, we can go to the other show because
yeah, let
normally
me
they
just
allow
conclude.
us
Let me just
to
finish in 30
finish the point.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I'll keep saying
Whenever
it. We
you
need
guys don't
to
finish, you can continue on,
Yeah,
the
on the other
latest
show.
segments because we do a little bit,
Yeah.
not that
A little
much.
bit is an hour. You get an hour to still talk
I
about
like
this
Mr.
topic.
Alexandra Gomez
Mm.
comments. For that, you like listening to yourself. I liked it.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Alexander Gomez is a critic. He does this all the time. It's all right. We all welcome all the critics. Round up so that Jefferson can
Yeah,
go.
absolutely. I'll just spend like 30 seconds. Yeah, I was going to say, like, my point is that, you see, either it is Republicans or Democrats, what's going on right now, if we understand the intricacies of Western politics, the direction in which Western politics is going is very dangerous. And we, the minority, and including with the American people, we need to rise up against what is coming in the future. Because if the people do not respond and wake up, things are going to get really bad and out of control. And we've seen that historically in the West. That's my first point. Number two is now under Trump, there is a complete re-strategy. I mentioned that there's now a complete re-strategizing of American imperialism, to ensure that they restore and consolidate their dominance. And we need to be wary of that as well. I'll just stop there.
Thank you about on this one. I don't know why Oga Alexander say whether we are in a classroom. Why do we dislike learning from each other? Because I see you all the time. One person will come and they will just be talking and talking, and they will learn from each other. You like it or not, and they don't have any issues with that. But when I try to talk, are we in a classroom? Who says you're in the classroom? Did I say raise your hand and ask question? Nobody said that I could. you know. So welcome Jefferson. So what do you make of this? The conversation so far.
Jefferson, it's been a while. Good to see you.
And you too. How you all doing today?
Good.
You are doing good. You're looking
Good to
fresh
see you.
now.
You're
He's
looking
been
fresh as
enjoying
ever.
now.
Well,
He's
I'm
been
only
enjoying
been busy.
himself.
Yeah, sorry, there's been a break in. I was trying to come in much earlier because I was more interested in the major topic that, of course, has to do with the Nigerian contest of how IBB finally confessed. It's unfortunate. I don't want to digress a bit, but I'll still come back to international politics. It's unfortunate what we have done to ourselves and the damage that have been done, and the stigma that have been put on a certain part of people in Nigeria, which is still causing problems till tomorrow. It's unfortunate how we have ended up in this mess. And then now, of course, we are discussing the international political scene of the Trump administration and everything. It's almost the same thing. You're on the international scene. Yes, Trump has his own ideology and everything, but it's still the same black versus white and everything. But of course, we know that we need to look beyond that because competency is key in everything that we do. Because no matter how anybody wants to position us, we just have to position. So I don't really have much to say because right now under this administration, there's a lot of, of course, they are cutting down waste. At the same time, they are kind of, there's still some dark sides of it because, of course, they are chasing people too, but on the other side too, they are feeling the effect of it. You see, even if you are in power, even if you are in absolute power and you are the one dictating how things go, at the end of the day, you are not you cannot have all the whole say because people will still make decisions. You see, I could remember I watched what they call it. Canadians, they were angry with the Texas governor because of the statement that was made, and people decided that okay, since you feel that you can make such statements, all right, we'll travel somewhere else. We're not going to come over to Houston. Those are just one of it, and there are so many other things. But like I said, it's a very dicey thing for me to discuss right now on this platform. Then you were saying, then you made mention of if like what happened in the Berlin conference and everything, because I want to bring your minds before the Berlin conference. You know, they had, of course, you said they were fighting themselves. The reason why all those things happened in the first place is because the rich white people, I hear me, the rich white people convinced the poor white people that, look, we the black people are the problem. Just like how, of course, in Nigeria, they feel the Igbo people is are the problem. Do you see where this thing is going? So, and then they made a decision, and after making all those decisions, they now decided to attack black people worldwide. Of course, even in America, on American soil, which is a story for another day, but of course in Africa, did all the conquest, stole from people over, brought us in America, Europe, all over. And up till now, that stigma is still there. So the question now that comes to us in all this madness that is happening now, what is the black people doing? Because I know they were still living under divides. We still live under divides, and we're still kind of confused, and we have not found a way to unite. And still going back to the Nigerian story, if after what Babangida said, we don't see that we need to correct our actions, then I believe we Africans are very stupid. But trust me, you will still see some stupid people still fighting themselves, doing Igbo versus Hausa versus Yoruba. Meanwhile, the story is out there for everyone to see. It's unfortunate. But now it is a serious pain, and it's still affecting us, even in America, but in another faction. And of course, America as a country is a global country, but unfortunately, you are still seeing racism, you are still seeing all manner of things. Something that is not supposed to be even heard of. But it is what it is. Do you understand? So sorry, then you said something about the issue of Russia and America aligning and the sidelining China in terms of policy and everything. Look, as it is right now, even this on this American soil, even what I'm wearing and so many other products, it's China that is still producing them. So what are you talking about here? You cannot do without their markets. You cannot. Only the deluded person you think I can do without China, because they have positioned themselves. The same to India. You can't do without those guys. You know, I want to ask you a question. How many people are the Chinese people fighting? I'm not saying they are perfect too. How many people are the Chinese people fighting?
Jefferson, you're absolutely right.
And I'm beginning to think that the Chinese is preparing themselves. They are not preparing themselves only for America. They are preparing themselves in case America, China, and India and Russia turn on them. They seem to us to prepare for something else.
You understand? So even if, look, and let me tell you something, even if the Chinese and all these people, they unite against what happened in the Berlin conference cannot happen again. I know we black people have issues, but I said that what happened there is not going to happen again because people know better now.
How?
Why I said that? Because people are informed. People are, yes, you see,
how does being informed stop them from combining and coming to take whatever they want to take? Like they are doing already, but they could amplify it and make it, they are not hiding it anymore. How does being aware stop them?
Tell how to work. Yes, by the side, Nigeria is being called giant of Africa, right? Of course, it has so many polarizations attached to it. But it also has a significance, meaning if we do the right thing as a country, if we do the right thing as a country and correct our wrongs and see how we can position ourselves and align with the other African nations to review our values and correct so many other things, I can tell you one thing: we will turn the whole situation around. The other countries are benefiting from the spoils because we're in disunity. Do you understand? So just I don't know if you guys can really.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. You see, the conversation today is very interesting because it's almost as if there's been a switch change. A few years ago, like before the election or even last year, you will have at least 3 or 4 people on the panel disagreeing with what you are saying right now. You see, this is why I wanted Trump in office. But Trump starts unraveling all the stuff, and almost everybody's unanimous today about the issues that the West is bringing to
Exactly.
our country now. Those
Don't
people
get
are
me
not
wrong.
operating anymore.
He has his own style. He might be doing some things right. Who knows? He might.
Mm.
So it's not
To be
everything
Not
is
for us,
honest,
of course.
yeah, absolutely, yeah, not for us,
Not
yeah.
for us. He's
no,
doing
no.
it for his own
Friends of
people.
mine are talking down
So
this and so many other things. That's the
let's
story
give
for
the
another
honorable, let's give the honorable Mrs. Madam Babiri. You round up 30 seconds so that we'll give her
Okay.
time to close us out, and then we'll go to the women's
Like I said, that
the women's
discussion that
show.
happened that I couldn't join. It's a very, very big significance because
Yeah, it
it's
looks like I'm thinking of having
it is the
another
very
show
thing that
after
has
that one.
brought
Actually, I'm thinking of having another show after that one because of there's so much to discuss. We've not even discussed the US aid. We've not discussed Babangida this thing issue at all. I feel like there's a lot to discuss there, and there are other things I want to address too. I might just do another one after the women's one. Have you finished, Jefferson?
No, I think I'll just stop here for now. I think let me just stop here so
Thank you.
that I can
You can
speak.
always carry on with you in the women's show anyway. Madam
All right.
Bibire, thank you for joining us. Can you close us out? So we can just close us out, and then we'll go and join the female. This thing. Okay, why did I call it female now? Women's show. Do you have the link?
I'm glad you corrected yourself, women, right?
What do you think? I'm very, very
Mm-hmm,
sensitive.
mm-hmm.
Okay, do we do we have the link so I can share it so that they can be able to join straight from
I
here?
think the link. Oh God, let me go out and
Yeah,
you should have
let me
the.
see, let me look
Yeah,
for
you
it.
should
Let me
have
look
the
for it.
link. Yeah, so that you
I
can.
can't see it too. Okay, I've seen it now. I've seen it now. All
All
right,
right,
I'm just
thank
getting
you.
it now. Yeah,
All right, so I'm heading back there. I'll see you guys over there. Thank you, forefathers.
thank you.
All right,
Yeah,
y'all have a good
link
one.
to women's show. All right, got it in the chat there, in the private chat, so you can join it from there. And in the main chat to join, you have it right there. So yeah, Madam Mibire, please close us out, and so that we can just head off. 1 minute.
So, like I said earlier, now I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I just because I have to, lean toward a cause. So I lean toward Democrat because of the, social justice issues. So I will say this. Like a lot of people, somebody mentioned about MLK the other time. MLK wasn't a Republican or a Democrat. Don't forget, like I said, there was a Southern strategy. There was party realignment at some point, even though a lot of Black people were Republicans earlier. A lot of Black, even they had representatives in the Congress.
Around the late 1960s or early 70s, yeah, right.
Yes,
Yes.
so there was Southern strategy and there was party realignment. Republican moved toward like white supremacy, issues, and Democrat tend to move toward progressiveness. And so when people say, "Oh yeah, Republicans were the one that Abraham Lincoln was the one that emancipated Black," but don't forget that there was something changed. Something changed at some point. And Dixie Democrat, they are called Dixiecrat. They are the racists. They left the Democratic Party
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they
Yeah.
didn't want to stop the slavery. They are racist. So that's why in the South you will see them voting more Republican now, and in the North you see them voting Democrat. So I don't know. And MLK was not MLK was a all MLK's ideas were like socialist ideas, ideology. It was fighting for people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could argue that some of those Democrats that really really hate black people in the north,
They are,
because there's a realignment in south and north, but the
Mhm.
ones that remain in the north remain that way, but they have different agenda. Like the lady that they said started Planned Parenthood, they said she was a eugenicist. She believed in racial.
No,
I've
no.
forgotten her name. I know her name. Oh my God. I will
Yeah,
check
Let me
it.
I will find
let me say
information
I
later
know her
when we get
name.
to.
let
Mm,
me say let me
mm.
say with when it comes to, let me tell you, democratic policies, Democrat policies are really popular. I'll tell you this for a fact. Because those are the things. Do you want? Let us raise minimum wage. Let us address homelessness. Let us address this. and let us address that. Those are like social justice, social issues. People really, they're popular, but let me tell you, Democrats don't know how to message their policy. They are very poor. And I feel like, in my mind, I feel like it's kind of like a karma, because it was the Democrat that really know how to message in the, during the slavery and after Reconstruction and all that. But now Republican has taken it. But Democrats don't have half of the tool of propaganda machine that the Republican has. They don't have half of it. They are poor in messaging, and they will continue to lose, even though their policies are quite popular. Because who don't want their wages to be raised? Who don't want a private equity company to stop buying single family homes that prevent people from being able to afford homes? People like those policies. Republicans, they are saying that give people children, school children, lunch and breakfast. They don't want that. Republicans don't want that. They say socialism. They are able to convince black
They are
poor
heavily
people.
indoctrinated, actually.
Yes, they are
The
able to
Republican
convince
mind.
poor white people that giving children breakfast and lunch in school is socialism.
I don't
They
think they
even
convinced them of that. They didn't convince. See, you are missing the fact that the headline for them is immigration, their population. You are missing the fact that transgender stuff is annoying the life out of them. Abortion is a religious
let
issue
me
for a lot
tell
of
you
them.
what
Those
they
things
do.
are at the top. That's why they reject food. I don't care
No,
about food.
what
I
they
care more about this
no,
other
no,
issue.
no. What they do is that's the propaganda machine to bring out culture war and say, look here, don't look at here. That is culture
But
war.
I care more about that in our own culture, so I can understand them. Like, survival is more important than school lunch.
Let me tell
I
you,
need to
But
survive
forefathers,
before I can eat school lunch.
more of
America
that is the abuse of the system. Those social interventions that the Democrats are promoting has been abused. It's been abused. I work, and then someone stays, he doesn't work, and is getting all the benefits. So that aggravated quite a lot
But I
of people.
think that Americans like the benefit. I think the mistake Bibere and a lot of Democrats are making is that it's not that they don't like those policies, but they like other things more, and you're not paying attention to those things they like more.
That is
It's
what
a
I'm telling
mistake.
you, that it's a culture war. Because what is the percentage of transgender in American populace? What is the
Then
percentage?
why are you sticking it in their face? Is that not the problem? And you tell children that they are going to be able to go and
Because
change their sex
propaganda
without
machine is
consulting
telling
the
you
parent.
that
No, it's not
it's
propaganda, it's a fact. There are
it's
laws as do you know
propaganda
that
machine
hold on, let
is
me ask you
telling
now.
you.
Do you know
Okay.
that
That's
there are
the
laws that
point.
say, you know what,
Forefathers,
let's
that's
go
exactly
to
the
the women's
point.
show. This is
That's
not going to
exactly
end
the
today.
point.
Let's go to the
Okay,
women's show.
okay,
Let's go to the women's show. It's
okay.
not going to end today. But if you show up there, then we'll carry on the discussion. I think
Yeah,
it's going to go on there. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna
thank you all
continue.
for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate you, Jide, Jefferson, Mother Mibire, Oga Tony, and Oga Ike. I really appreciate all of you for joining us. The chat, Chris Ken, Alexander Gomez. I thank you for that, and the donation too. I really appreciate that. Equity, fairness, and justice. I thank you for joining us. Who else is the man of prestige? John Abba is here to say goodbye. He came in the last minute. Femi Olu Yinka, I see you there. Thank you for joining us. Adama is also there. Who else have I not said? Biosa is there. Boom Boom Ray is there. All right. I can't name everybody. Tata Awo is also there. You guys should join the next show, and starting right now. Till next time. Bye, everyone. Let me play us out.